Hello, my name is Tony Kwan. I'm the Trophy Wine Hunter, and I'm really excited about this series, which is my Starting from the Bottom wine series. This is a series for consumers and for beginners, wine drinkers, and wine enthusiasts. If you know a lot about wines, if you're in the food and beverage industry or the wine industry, maybe this is not for you. But this is for people that kind of want to know a little bit more about wines. So we're going to start right from the bottom and go through everything in this series, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and grow your interest in wine. So wine appreciation or being a wine enthusiast is a hobby, and you really have to develop it. And so first thing we want to do is make sure that you distinguish yourself from just drinking wine, because a lot of people say, I drink wine. Well, everyone drinks wine. That's not a hobby. That's just you like alcohol. But what we want to turn that into is a hobby or some type of knowledge. So the key is, how do you distinguish yourself as someone who likes to learn something about wine? Because if you just say, I drink wine, everyone drinks wine. But you also don't want to be pretentious about it. You don't want to go and say, well, I'm WSET. I take courses. I drank this and this wine. That's kind of uncalled for and quite pretentious. So the wording that I like to use when people ask me, I say, oh, I'm a wine enthusiast, or I appreciate wines, or I'm into wine appreciation. Because those are weird wording, and that kind of denotes that you are not, it's the wording that you use is kind of, oh, I know a little bit of wine, or I like to study wine, not just, I just like to drink. And I think that's important. This first video in this series is just a basic understanding of wine appreciation and why you should get into it. So the first reason is health benefits. Almost every study shows that if you drink wine in moderation, there are health benefits. So one of the health benefits is obviously because when you drink wine, your blood vessels dilate and basically get old, and that really helps in terms of any type of heart type things, cholesterol, because your blood circulates and you can feel that. When you're a beginning wine drinker, you can actually feel your blood pumping. Well, that's actually good for the body. But the other thing that wine does is, in general, it's not the wine, but it's the lifestyle that it allows you to lead. Because people that drink wine generally eat slower and have more social time, because you don't see many people, and we're talking about moderate drinkers, not like people that drink ridiculous amounts or alcoholics, okay? But if you're drinking moderate amounts of wine, in general, you're drinking it slowly in a very relaxed atmosphere. You're drinking it over a long dinner. And of course, when all studies show that when you eat slower and you allow your digestion, that's healthier. When you have a more relaxed lifestyle and a less stressful lifestyle, it's healthier. And that's what you'll find when people enjoy wines and appreciate wines and become wine enthusiasts. In general, they will have a more relaxed lifestyle. It's you'll know that. You rarely will you drink a wine when you are in a very stressful situation. You may actually drink the wine to bring down your stress, to kind of slow you down. And that's really the reason why the health benefits. There are some physical health benefits. Sometimes that can be arguable because it depends on how much you talk about. Generally speaking, the studies show about 2 glasses a day, and 2 glasses is quite a bit. I don't consume two glasses a day every day, but moderate wine drinking, most people think that is good for lifestyle. The second benefit is really social. One of the things that you'll see is that, and every book will tell you this, if you look at Dale Carnegie's old books about how to make friends and influence people, they always talk about connection, okay? So at least in the Western world, over 75% of adults drink wine. And in some countries like France, 95% of adults drink wine. So when I go into any type of social situation, I talk in any crowd, I have a 7 to 7 out of 10 chance that I'm gonna connect with that person in that crowd, okay? That's higher than any other hobby that you can think of, okay? Anything, whether it be religion, golf, watching hockey, that's higher than anything. And that's the key, to make a connection. Wine is very universal. It's got very little, it's a hobby that doesn't need a lot of training. In that sense, it doesn't need a lot of tools. So it's great. So, and we're talking about hobbies, right? You can't put this in the same category as food, because food is a necessity. Walking, reading, writing, those are necessities. You can't, wine is a luxury. It's something that you can, it's an optional activity. It's a hobby. So that is, socially speaking, a great thing, okay? From a business perspective, it also is very helpful. Wine, I'm not talking about drinking wine. I'm talking about wine appreciation and being a wine enthusiast. Again, we have to distinguish. Just binge drinking and just drinking a lot of alcohol, that to me doesn't have the same effect socially and for your business life as being a wine enthusiast and appreciating wines. Why? If you look at studies of those people that drink, if you ask them what is their favorite type of drink, whether it be wine or beer and alcohol, as people get older and as the college education level goes up, the percentage of people that enjoy wine as their top drink goes up, okay? So this is really important for young people, because for young people, sometimes when you're starting out in the world, in the business world, or it's easy to meet people of your own age, but how do you talk to people that are older? What do you talk to them about, right? That's the thing. You talk to them about wine because it's common. It's a common denominator. Most people that you run into that are older than you probably will have some experience with wine. And again, you're talking to older and maybe more influential people than you. So it's a great thing, okay? The other effect that you'll find is that this is a common human effect. It's called the glow effect. So if you are knowledgeable about wine and not just binge drinking and just drinking tons of volume and don't know anything about wines, if you know something about wines, there's a glow effect. So whatever you do, that glow effect affects everything else that you do. So if you appreciate wine and you're not a jerk about it, in general, people will think that you're knowledgeable about whatever you do. So let's say, you are, a bank manager, okay? And you know a lot about wines. There is a glow effect. So that inference will be, well, he probably knows a lot about, his job too, and he's probably very competent, because if he takes this much time and he knows what he's talking about with wine, he probably knows what he's doing here, right? And same thing, let's say you're an artist, right? Same thing. If you can explain things and you seem like a very reasonable person and you're very rational, well, this person's got to be a pretty good artist. Should actually have no effect, but it does. And you'll see that all the time. Now, the exception is if you become ridiculously snobby and things like that. That's not good. And that's not what wine appreciation and being a wine enthusiast is about. It's really about sharing the experience, and it's never been, if you talk to even the top winemakers and the top wineries, they never talk about wanting to have exclusivity and, it's only for certain people. No, they want people to drink and they want people to enjoy it. So this is really the start of your education in wine, kind of making sure that you understand why we're drinking wine. We're not just drinking wine for the alcohol. We're drinking it because it presents so many other opportunities for us. It's healthy, it provides social and business opportunities, and through your wine education, you will learn so much about other aspects of life. And we'll go through this. You'll see this in some of my videos. You'll learn about history. You'll learn about the soil type. You'll learn something about science and how things are made. And it's that experience, and if being able to talk to other knowledgeable people, you'll actually make a lot of friends because you have a lot of commonness. Again, the exception is if you take it too seriously and you kind of lose sight of what wine appreciation and being a wine enthusiast is about. It's not just about the wine. It's not about just what it smells like. It's not about how many points the wine is. It's about the experience. And I think so many people lose touch of that. The ultimate experience of wine is that sharing and that connection. Okay? Of course, good wine is important, but the wine in itself is not that important. The wine brings you to shared experiences. And that's really the importance of wine, being a wine enthusiast and wine appreciator. That shared experience, that bonding and commonness that you can build with other people, and just enjoying life. So I hope this kind of gets a good start to this series. I'm going to go through step by step the wine experience and how to appreciate wines. There's lots of people that drank wines for many years, and there's lots of things they don't want to ask. Wine appreciation and being a wine enthusiast can be very intimidating. I call myself the trophy wine hunter. Wow, that can be intimidating. It's not. I drink regular wines too. So it's about learning, and it's about having fun, and it's about bonding and having that social experience with other drinkers and people that enjoy wine and appreciate wine. So hope you've enjoyed this first video, and hope you will continue on to this series, and hope it will be helpful. If you have any comments or questions, jot them down for me in the comment section. Love to hear what people think. Don't be too mean. But other than that, I'm happy to kind of try to answer any comments and talk about things that you as subscribers are interested in. Until next time, happy drinking.